It was a cold Saturday morning when Lauren knelt beside the toy store window, her tired eyes lingering on bright pink boxes filled with dreams she couldn't afford. Ellie stood close, small fingers pressed to the glass, staring at a Barbie in a glittering dress, while Lauren swallowed hard and whispered, "Sweetheart, I can't buy it today. If you believe in compassion, hope, and second chances, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more stories." Let's begin. The cold Saturday air turned every breath into a pale ribbon as Lauren Mitchell knelt beside the toy store window. Her knees ached through thin jeans, but she stayed there anyway, close enough to feel her daughter's warmth through a worn coat sleeve. 6-year-old Ellie pressed her fingertips to the glass, staring at a Barbie doll posed like royalty, golden hair, a pink gown, a smile that promised a life without overdue bills. Lauren's stomach tightened. Unemployed, behind on rent, and down to a few crumpled dollars, she had mastered the art of pretending everything was fine. She brushed Ellie's bangs aside and tried to sound light. "Sweetheart, we're going to do something special at home." Ellie didn't pout. That was the part that hurt most. She only nodded, swallowing disappointment like a grown-up, and whispered, "Maybe next time, Mommy." Lauren forced a smile, but her eyes stung. She rose slowly, as if standing might crack what little pride she had left, and guided Ellie away from the window before the tears could fall. Inside the store, Daniel Whitmore paused near the front displays, a neat coat on his shoulders and a phone buzzing with messages he didn't answer. He had come for numbers, sales trends, holiday forecasts, a meeting about consumer sentiment. Instead, he found himself watching the mother and daughter outside as if the glass had turned into a screen showing a life he couldn't ignore. Daniel didn't look like a man who remembered hunger. Yet he did. He remembered a childhood where birthdays meant a single cupcake and a promise. He remembered his mother's hands, chapped, exhausted, still gentle. Ellie's quiet bravery reached him like a punch. Lauren's careful voice, soft, protective, made something in him shift. He turned to the clerk and nodded toward the display Barbie. "That one," he said. "The one in the window." The clerk blinked, surprised. "Sir, that's the display." "I know," Daniel replied. "Wrap it anyway." He didn't call it charity. He didn't even call it kindness. He simply paid, took the box, and stepped back outside, walking into the cold with purpose. Lauren had almost reached the corner when she heard footsteps behind them. Instinct made her pull Ellie closer, protective even when she had nothing else to offer. A man's voice, calm and careful, stopped her. "Excuse me," he said. Lauren turned, tense. The stranger held a pink box tied with a ribbon. He looked well-dressed, but his expression wasn't the usual pity she'd learned to endure. It was, respectful. "I saw you two at the window," he continued. "And I couldn't walk away." Lauren shook her head quickly. "No, sir. Please. We can't." He lifted a hand, not to silence her, but to slow the moment. "This isn't about what you can't do. This is, one parent helping another." Ellie stared at the box like it might vanish if she blinked. Daniel crouched to Ellie's level and offered it to her, gentle as if handing over something fragile. Ellie's hands trembled when she took it. Her face lit up, pure joy, bright enough to soften the gray morning. Lauren's throat tightened. "I don't even know your name," she managed. "Daniel," he said simply, as if that was all the world needed to know. Daniel stood, glanced toward the street as if he had somewhere urgent to be, then looked back at Lauren with a quiet seriousness. "I'm not giving you a speech," he said. "But I am going to give you something practical." He slipped a small card into Lauren's hand. On it was an address and a name, Whitmore Distribution, new warehouse hiring. "They're opening a new warehouse on the south side," he explained. "They need reliable people. If you apply, tell them you spoke to Daniel Whitmore." Lauren's eyebrows lifted, confusion first, then suspicion. Why would they listen to that? Daniel didn't smile, not quite. Because they will. Before Lauren could ask more, his black car rolled up, quiet and polished. He opened the door, paused one last time, and added softly, "You didn't beg. You didn't blame the world. You protected your child's dignity. Don't lose that." Then he got in, and the car moved away, leaving Lauren standing in the cold with Ellie hugging the doll to her chest like it was a heartbeat. Lauren stared at the card until the letters stopped shaking. For the first time in months, her fear had competition, hope. That evening, their apartment looked the same, small, tired, and too quiet, but the air felt different. Lauren found a single candle from a forgotten drawer and stuck it into a plain pancake like it was a cake. Ellie wore her happiest smile, Barbie perched beside her plate like a guest of honor. Lauren sang, "Happy Birthday," with a voice that cracked halfway through. Ellie didn't notice. She was too busy cradling the doll, whispering stories into its plastic ear as if the Barbie could listen and promise tomorrow would be better. 2 days later, Lauren stood at the warehouse office with the card in her palm, her best clothes freshly washed, her nerves sharp as winter wind. When she said the name, Daniel Whitmore, the manager's expression changed instantly. "You're Lauren Mitchell," he said, as if he'd been expecting her. "We can start you Monday." Weeks became months. Paychecks became groceries without panic. Rent was paid on time. Ellie's laugh returned, loud and unguarded. And one afternoon, after Lauren's first small savings deposit, she took Ellie back to the toy store window. Ellie pressed her hand to the glass again, but this time she looked up at her mother and said, "Mommy, this is where someone saw us." Lauren nodded, blinking fast. "Yes," she whispered. "And it changed everything. Thanks for being here, like and subscribe to keep more unforgettable stories coming."